Please welcome back former CIA officer Jason Hanson.
Former CIA Jason Hanson.
This handsome fella is Jason Hanson.
This is Jason Hanson, former CIA guy.
Today I want to cover close quarter shooting, the good, the bad, and the ugly. My name is Jason Hanson. I'm a former CIA officer. I'm also the New York Times bestselling author of Spy Secrets That Can Save Your Life. And when I was with the agency, I carried a gun very often. My very first job out of college was as a police officer, and I carry concealed every single day now. I live in the state of Utah, which is a free state, so it doesn't matter if I'm open carrying, if I'm concealed carrying. Typically, you'll find me with a gun in my pocket, my front right pocket, or a gun on my hip. A gun in my front right pocket is probably going to be a Sig Sauer P365. Gun on my hip is going to be a Springfield 1911 or some other type of 1911 because I love 1911s. So as I said, we're going to talk about close quarters stuff, how the how it really goes down, how it works. This is obviously our bad guy. He's the guy that's going to get shot today. Now, we know that statistically, can't even speak today. The FBI says, hey, it's going to be 3 rounds, 3 seconds, 3 feet. Of course, anything can happen, but from the majority of instances that I've almost been in, from my friends who have been in gunfights, very often it is going to be that extreme close quarters. So it's going to be up close and personal, and it may be 1 attacker, maybe 2 attackers. Doesn't matter. You're going to handle it the same. So let's talk about how it works. This guy's here. Maybe all of a sudden you turn around in an ATM machine and he's right on top of you. Maybe there's an altercation and before you know it, it escalates and he's drawn a knife or you see a gun or whatever, and you got to get out lightning fast with your firearm. If I'm on my hip or it's in my pocket, doesn't matter. Again, it's coming out just as fast and I'm getting it on target, taking care of business if it is legally justified, meaning if deadly force is justified, if he's gonna seriously harm me or kill me. I'm gonna back up a bit here just so you can see me. This is where I'd keep my gun. I'm gonna pull it out so you can see what I'm carrying today. I do not have a firearm on my hip today. It is just my Sig Sauer P365 that you can see here. I'll make sure the camera can see it. It's just in a regular Kydex holster. I prefer Kydex. And this hook, very important to keep it in my pocket when I draw it, because half the holsters you buy out there that are pocket holsters, when you draw the gun, the holster is gonna come out with it. So you're gonna end up like this, which is never good. So obviously, buy a bunch of holsters if you're gonna pocket carry, which is one of my favorite ways, as I mentioned. Test them out with a safe and empty weapon, because many of them will come out and you'll realize you got to return it or just throw it away and then find the one that works best for you. When I'm here and I'm coming out and it's close quarters, this other hand, maybe I'm pushing the guy off. Maybe I'm holding up my arm so he's trying to strike me or, take a baseball bat or whatever it might be. So I'm probably going to be drawing one-handed, which is fine, no big deal. And it's so close quarters, maybe he's trying to reach my gun and I've, punched him in the throat. I've gouged him in the eyes to create that little bit of space, that way I can get to it. So when I come out with my gun, I'm drawing up and I'm rotating towards the threat. Notice my gun is pretty close and tight to me. I'm not drawing my gun and then immediately going like that, because obviously the guy could take it. If I had to fire it, it might not cycle because I'm pressing it into him. So then I got to tap and rack again. So there's all kinds of things that could happen, which is why I'm keeping the gun very, very tight and close to here. Basically, I'm touching my own rib cage. If I'm not doing anything, I can just put this hand on my chest. But most likely, I'm going to be doing something up here. Obviously, you got to make sure you don't shoot off your own hand. But most likely, I'm fighting them, I'm hitting them. So my gun is pointed. If I stretch it out, you can see here, my hand is up here, so no problem at all. So again, if I'm drawing, I come up, and all it is a lightning fast rotation, keeping the gun, keeping my wrist very tight, basically touching my rib cage area here, and firing as many rounds as I need to. So I'm gonna put on my hearing protection very, very quickly. That way I don't go deaf. Let's put my gun back in my trusty pocket holster so you can see that. Again, here's how it could look. Whatever, something happens, altercation, maybe guy walks up to me and my family. I've got a wife and 6 kids, and maybe he looks at me and says, hey, that guy looks like an easy target. Comes right up to me, pulls a knife, pulls whatever. It's not a situation you want to be in. So I've got to act quickly and take care of business. So hopefully this doesn't blow over in the wind, but here it goes. Crap has hit the fan. I realize there's a threat. Boom, coming out. And that's it. You can see that time I put my hand on my chest just because, hey, threat didn't require me to whatever. Now I'm going to show you, hey, I've got to put my arm up, or I'm even hanging on to this guy for some reason, making sure he can't kill me or can't get to whatever he's trying to do. I got 2 good shots there, 2 solid shots there. So this time, instead of backing up, creating that little bit of space, it's gonna be, hey, you know, I'm holding on to the guy, we're fighting, whatever it might be, and then I'm gonna draw. So, you know, hey buddy, I'm gonna draw my boom, 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 whatever comes. So same thing, holding on here, coming out here. Now that time I came a little bit out more because it went back. Not the end of the world, that's fine, but try not to come all the way where you're making eye contact. So sometimes I'll be here. That time I ended up here. That's what my natural, you know, human body did. Big deal. I've got 4 solid shots on target. When it comes to close quarter shooting, just practice. The beauty of this is you can practice with a safe and empty weapon. You do dry fire practice. So you can sit in your house just drawing and coming out, pulling the trigger, boom, boom. Drawing, coming out, pulling the trigger, boom, boom. I dry fire practice for about 10 minutes every single morning with a safe and empty weapon just to build that muscle memory that if heaven forbid the day comes where I'm walking out of the Walmart parking lot or whatever, and all of a sudden some guy approaches me, maybe I think he's gonna ask for money, maybe I think he's gonna say, hey, I'm homeless, and all of a sudden he pulls a knife. Well, I'm gonna be able to come out quick and defend myself if I feel that my life is in danger, if I feel it's justified. So there's some quick close quarters tips, how to do it, but please, please practice, figure out what works for you. You may say, hey, I hate pocket carry. Pocket carry is not what I want at all. You may say, I love pocket carry. You may practice from your hip. You may do ankle carry, which I wouldn't recommend because that's a long way to go grab the gun, but maybe you like appendix carry. Whatever you want to do, figure it out, and then practice some close quarter draws. That way you're comfortable. As I mentioned, my name is Jason Hanson. I'm a former CIA officer. Please like, subscribe, turn on that ring notification because I've got a lot more coming your way.